What's up, guys? Today we're going to be playing Slay the Spire. So I have quite the history with this game. I have over 100 hours in this game, but recently in a somewhat new update, they added a save file, and I thought you could have multiple saves of each different class, but turns out it is actually the save file in general. So I went and tossed that, and in turn I actually lost all my save information. So I'm basically going in plain. I have a couple runs as the Ironclad, and I'm about to go and play the rogue character, the Silent. As you can see, I have like no unlocks for this one. I'm about to try to play the new character, probably more so than this one. But I like going for the question marks because it's really fun to do. So this game is interesting from a deck builder standpoint. It is a deck building game, but as you can see, the intentions of the enemy are always clear to you, so you always know what you need to do. So I'm going to go and apply weak, which basically makes them weak for so many turns based off the value, and usually it's 25%. And these guys have this thing where they get a shield once if they get irritated. As you can see, I didn't lose any health because my shields blocked it. And unfortunately I can't kill them both this turn, but I'm really close. And I called it shields, but it is block. And that's the general premise of the game. You can always add and remove cards. You start off with some pretty basic cards, and of course it tends to get stronger as you go along. And I'm playing this like an aggro Ironclad deck for some reason. I really need to try to pick up some more defensive options because I can't recall what all you get to start off with, but it isn't the Silent isn't quite as able to get away with aggro strategies as the Ironclad can. So this guy, he gets stronger the longer you fight him, so generally speaking, you just try to rush him down. I do quite like the aesthetic of this game too. That's another thing. I think the poison deck is going to be the best option for us. Let's see here. It's a cool little artifact that they added to the game. So on top of getting cards, you also get these little artifacts that just overall improve your character without drawing them. Neutralize Plus is always a really good upgrade. It's almost always my go-to. And poison is pretty good, but you have to really stack it to make it worthwhile. Almost got him. And poison, if you didn't notice, starts at the beginning of their turn and goes under shield, so you can just kind of throw it at them and let them have it without having to worry about the damage if you're about to finish them off. So whenever you go to campfires, you can see you can heal and or upgrade a card, whichever one. And I'm trying to decide which one's going to be the best option, but I think I'm going to upgrade the poison stab, because the more poison you can put out, the better. And it's usually a good idea to go for elites. And these provide the enchantment effects whenever you go after them. This is going to be a really tough fight, but maybe it won't be too bad. Just going to try to rush down one of them while I can. So they're filling up my deck with garbage, so I have a chance of drawing that instead of my other options. I'm probably going to throw this fire potion I got at the sentry here. And that should make it to where I can just ignore him. So I'm going to be taking a couple hits, but depending on what item we get, it should be a good move. Next turn's going to be a pretty bad turn. I'll probably use my potion here, because there's really no use in taking damage if I can help it. Try to get lethal here, and it didn't work out, but that's okay. We ended up not having too hard of a time. I used to think these guys were pretty hard. They are annoying, but it definitely could be worse. Oh, that's really good. And let me just clarify that this is actually the first time I've played this in a couple of months. There's a lot of new items here that we're going to probably explore together here. This one's just always a give me. But Buffer, I do recognize this. Buffer is a ability they added with the new character, and it's pretty neat. It just prevents one version of damage that would hit your character. This works really well when they don't have a multi-attack. There are characters with like a multi-attack where they attack a couple times, and buffers do not help against that very much. And the higher you get your poison, as you can tell, it really wears them down if you can get away with it. And that's it. That seems really good. So, I haven't run into any ways to help clear out the the really wide groups. As you can see here, this is just crazy wide, and I don't really have any ways to get around it without taking some damage. I think I could block most of that out, take a little bit less damage, but I think it's gonna be worth it just to take out as many as I can while I can. So, as you can see here, you start out with this, which makes it to where you draw 2 cards. The other one makes it to where you heal every round, so if I was the other character, I'd be willing to take that hit, probably. I haven't taken much damage at all this whole entire game, but isn't quite the case where I can just heal this off. So looking like my clicks are registering. I'm going to go and turn that down a little bit. Give me one moment. I had to turn down everything a little bit to help with that, but you gotta do what you gotta do. It should knock this out. Looks like it's still registering, but let's see here. Like I said, if anything comes off too loud, just let me know in the comments below. Or too quiet for that matter. Now, this one's always fun. I'm probably going to drink the generation potion here. Let's go ahead and add this while we still can. Add some poison. We don't quite have enough aggro to really not take any damage. I think he may have one multi-attack ability, so we have to be wary about that. And he has an ability that makes it to where he gains 2 strength, which means he hits 2 harder every time we play a skill. So we have to be really careful and really balance out our options here. I think it's going to be worth it to take 1 block off, and it was, because we got 2 weakens, which is really good. We lost our buffer, but that was a really bad oversight. It's alright. We can always make mistakes. Keep on weakened up on him is going to be really good. Next turn we should be able to knock him out. I think it's going to be worth it too. And I do believe it's worth it to throw this at it. Wait, can we kill him just straight up? Nope, just barely can't kill him. So we're going to do that. And this one's always really good. Unfortunately, we're not really building a deck around it, but it's okay. Blur is really fun. It makes it where it stacks up really nicely. We really need to find a way to clear out some cards. We could have done it at the shop. That's one of the places where you can do it at, but just didn't happen because I need a couple of cards there. And this guy, he's one of the guys that tries to Not necessarily kill you, but just try to get some gold and run away. Well, we got all of our gold back. That's good. Now that we're getting pretty close to where we need to be, it's going to be a good question to decide if we're going to heal real quick and heal up to full or just get an upgrade. Let me go look at what we have. Having an innate infinite blade would be really good, but let me go look at our boss here. It's the king slime. I think we can get away with getting the infinite blade here. So we haven't run into any of the bigger slimes yet, but we're running into the boss of it now. It makes it to where we have to essentially worry about him splitting up, which is really not fun. I think we'll be able to make him split next turn, so let's just try to hit him as much as we can. That's what I was looking for, some extra damage. If you make him split, then you don't have to worry about him hitting. And he's going to split, but we really need to make him split as much as possible, so I'm going to throw this potion at him as well. And my block isn't going to go out, so I have some extra buffer for next turn. So now we have to deal with two bigger slimes, and these will split again, which isn't fun. And if I had anything to worry or fix that with, I would, but I'm thinking I can't get away with anything here. I have to just man fight it. Luckily, when you travel to new floors, assuming you're not on ascension mode, you do heal, so that's really good. I don't think they're going to slime very much. That one's about to split. I might have pushed my boundaries a little bit on that one. Might have wanted to consider being a little bit more careful. I think I'm going to go ahead and knock these out. I think I'm just going to knock that out of my hand. It's going to be a little bit longer of a fight. That weekend is really kicking my butt right now. A little bit more poison would be in good shape. As you progress in this game, not on a run-by-run basis, but on the basis of just playing multiple games, you do get unlocks that specialize your characters more. So I could really focus on some poison builds like doubling and that kind of stuff. It's really cool, but I can't quite do that yet, unfortunately. I'm thinking doing this is going to be the best option. Got one slime in there. Yeah, I'll probably draw a couple slimes, unfortunately. This extra shiv per fight is really nice. I might be able to get a really weak slime this time. Or maybe not. Not so worried about block anymore. Just gotta go and knock these out the best we can. And we did it. Not too bad. First is really fun. We're gonna risk this. Let's try to get all the strikes out of our deck, I suppose. Maybe 2 strikes and a block. And that worked out really well, actually. 2 of those complement our deck very well. And the last one wasn't too bad. Skewer's never too bad. I'm thinking this one on the left right here is really nice. I love the question marks. And unfortunately I got one of the more irritating creatures to fight when you're not a super aggressive deck. Poison's pretty good though. Probably get this. Made a mistake. I should have went with just blocking and all that good stuff, but we'll just stab. We need to stab one of the ones that's trying to buff himself because he's about to get a lot stronger. And that is never fun with these because they actually start to deal a lot of damage. I might have to run from this one. I'm going to take a couple hits just to see what happens, but... Yeah, I'm just not seeing it. I'm going to go ahead and get out. And this guy clears out cards too, which is really nice. Let's get the strike out. We don't really need it. Uh-oh. It's just combat, that's not too bad. Get thwacked a little bit more, but I should be fine. If I want to, that's exactly enough to go knock him out. And do that. I'm taking some hits. I may have to heal unless I find a shop that has some potions in it that can heal me up. That's okay. This guy's gonna really get put down really quick. Just not enough to knock him out. That's okay. I haven't done this one before, so I really don't know how hard it is. But we'll try it. Oh no. Oh no. That is not good. We're gonna blur. And then we're gonna dodge and roll. That should hold me off for a little bit. It won't be enough, but we can attempt. And maybe we can get away with poisoning one of these guys and knocking them out really quick. They're both weekends, so not too bad. Let's try to knock one of them out. Should have done the math in my head on that one. That might bite me later. That buffer really is paying off, though. So if I'm not mistaken, he should die. Pretty much guaranteed, this one right here. Unfortunately, I'm really having to drive home on the damage and just take as much as I possibly can. He's not dying next turn unless I really poison him. So have him knock him down a little bit more. Maybe this will heal me up. We shall see. Wing boots. Oh, that's really cool. Shivs are always nice. That's an extra 4 damage. Oh, that's really nice. So block next turn. If I'm not mistaken, this one does a really hard hit if you're not careful. It should be the next turn. But my buffer should protect me from that. He may hit twice though. Poison's really good on this guy, but he has a really tough artifact stack, so which makes it to where he can't take damage, or he can't take debuffs. So I had to go use my weakens on him. That was a mistake. Still taking that buffer loss and then taking another 7. I really need to try to get a campfire. Fortunately, he's dead. That leaves me at basically nothing. Okay, so I actually can do this question mark over here and then go back if I need to. think it's gonna be worth it. So the card we're gonna remove is probably Strike. We got an upgraded block or defend. And then I heal. Not quite enough though. So now I can either fight this guy, which could be really rough, or I could go. I think I'm gonna heal one more time. Now I'll fight this boss over here. Fingers crossed it isn't one that goes really wide, but yeah. Tends to happen that way, but it's okay. So, I'm trying to decide which one's the most annoying to deal with. It's probably the slaver in the back, because you can not attack if he plays his cards right. So we're just going to go all out on him. This one's the biggest, so we'll just weaken him. Because I'll probably go for him last. He does deal wounds, which isn't fun, but not the worst. I need him not to go and do too many wounds on me, but I'm pretty sure that's just what he does. Unfortunately, I forgot about that. Can't hang around this fight too much longer, but yeah, there's 3 wounds in there now. So basically every hand should have a wound in it. Just about. That'll do. He's out. Taking 1 damage, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Could have doubled and blocked it, but I don't think I could have put out much more damage than that. I'm really a big fan of these block and rolls. I'm thinking the unupgraded dodge and roll maybe. Defends are maybe just the weakest one. That's good. That's good. And let's remove a card. Or do we want it to get footwork? I think just removing a card's better. Sucker Punch is great, but I'm not going to get around to upgrading that. I think I'm going to go over here and just finish off and get this lift. It's an extra damage. Pretty good. And if I need to heal later on, I should be fine. This fight may end actually really nicely. My buffer's gone, but ooh, if I'm not mistaken, that just makes it to where he, whenever you do a skill or anything that's not an attack, he shuffles a dazed into your deck. So I'm just trying to finish him off as soon as possible. I could have stacked some block, but yeah, that's what I thought. It's pretty strong and annoying. So the next attack I do is the pin nib, which means I deal double damage on my next attack, which is super duper awesome. But that'll do. And this deck's a little bit situational. I think at this point prepared is really good. And this is going to be a great time to drink this potion, I think. Let me see what our... oh, it's the champion. He's a hoot to fight most of the time. Really hard. And unfortunately, we're going up against the people with artifacts on them, so we just got to really go fast to try to clear him out. Try to keep this power up for him because he can be a little bit tough to fight. I don't know if it's a good idea to try to go for poisons or not. If I get my skewer up pretty soon on the next go, this is going to be the way to go. It's just so hard to get the finish off. Oh, this burst is actually really good. I made the wrong decision, it turns out. But that's okay. Unfortunately, we are losing a bunch of health to him. That's the hit you have to worry about. So my next hit's the pin nib hit. Let's see if I can get a better hit. No. If my spear's the next go, I really messed up, but we shall see, we shall see. And let's see if we can make it up against this champion. It is pretty hard. Definitely need a heal. I got that potion, so maybe I can stack some blurs up and finish him off. Got regen. make sure we have the room in my hand. Thousand cuts has to be it this game. Oh my gosh. Mistakes. I thought I automatically equipped it. So the thing about the champ, or the champion, is that he debuffs, or he purges all debuffs about the halfway point, something like that. It is actually really rough. But I got the 1000 cuts, so that should really help with the poison, or replacing the poison, I mean. It's burst, blur, and dodge and roll. It's a lot of effects going off over there. That's really good. By the time he gets around to dealing any damage to me, he's gonna be about knocked out, I think. I think he is getting to that point where he's going to try to purge all the debuffs, though. Yeah, it's right about now, I think. Let's just see if we get something. And we did. We got a masterful stab. And there's that heavy hit right there. Let's see if we can get something better. While we do need the neutralize. Maybe not the survivor. I don't think this is a skewer turn either. Let's backflip it. Dodge and roll. Not the worst that could happen. Could have went with a lot of damage. I keep on forgetting about that buffer. Such a good ability. My next attack's gonna be a pin nib. My skewer is in there. I may want to hold out on that, because skewered pin nib is really good. There it is. That's really close to lethal. In the broad scheme of things, of course. He's gonna have a lot of armor, though. We'll see what happens. He may knock me out in one hit, but we'll see. I think I got him. And that's GG. You can never go wrong with that. If only I got this black star earlier. Getting an elite drop an additional relic is pretty crazy if you get it early on. These potions every combat though, super underrated. Might make it to where we don't have to go to a camp or something. So we're going to want to hoard up on potions. But we don't have to worry about it too much. I really needed to get the one that clears out a big wave at one time. So this one, it regenerates after 2 turns if it's hurt any. Kind of ignores it. Not a fan, honestly. So, I don't think poison is going to be an option in this fight because they're going to be really stubborn about when I draw my cards to hit that pattern right. We'll do this one so he'll die in a couple turns and we need to start knocking down another. And we'll just store up a draw on an extra energy point for next turn. It's gonna be really unfortunate if we die this first fight. Should have really started hunting for the other options, but it's okay. So, I think this one's going to come back. But I'm trying to get these two where they go down together. Should have knocked that one down because I think he was going to not be able to hit that threshold without me really poking it a little bit. But there's the poke. I can skewer this one. That was a mistake. That's okay. I'll only take 2 for it. It helps to count sometimes. Backflips are always great. I've only got this a long time ago. A lot of my cards are already upgraded. Poison's great, as per usual. I always love question marks though, so I'm going to go for them. All these sound awful. I really need to heal for the final fight. So I think we fight a boss and see what happens. So the fight has started. So it's going to do 18 damage. Let's see if we can get something a little bit more productive. This is another boss that you really want to kill off early because it adds burns to your deck that just deal damage to you whenever they get drawn. But I'm going to try not to take any damage too. Shouldn't be too hard to do both. Skewer Doppelganger could be bad in some cases having both in your hand, but upgraded Doppelganger is good no matter what. And that's game. Can't believe that happened. And the poison potion's great. I mean, Blade Dance is just good, period. I'm scared it's going to fill up my hand, so I may not take it. I don't know, it seems good. Such good damage. Could just work on building a pin nib combo from this point. So I really need to... Oh, this is new for me. I don't know exactly what damage it does, but we're probably going to figure out real quick. I'm going to throw a weakness at it, just empty my hand when it starts attacking, assuming it deals much damage at all. We'll go ahead and use the Doppelganger. Maybe deals 10 damage every turn. Yep. I wouldn't call it welcoming. Next turn, I am able to knock this out. Or knock it a large part of the way down, of course. Without having to worry about dealing a bunch of damage. Trying to empty out my hands on purpose so I'll draw into my skewer. I think it's going to be worth it to just take 10 damage here and hunt for that skewer. Oh, I forgot that I'm not going to take 10 damage because I have that buffer. I always forget about it. There it is. And that's game. Didn't even use the weakness, but I can... Don't need two of them. Let's diversify. This is always the biggest pain. You just basically have to try to put out as much damage as possible because he phases in and out. It's actually really frustrating. Like that. And you also take a bunch of burn, but I think this is gonna be a good fight to throw that weekend on. See if we can get a little bit more block out. Actually, just stack on more poison. Keep on forgetting about that buffer. We're not going to be able to handle him at his strongest. A lot of the time, at least. Phase out every turn. I doubt I can kill him this turn, but well, maybe so. Spoke too soon. It's actually really fun. That's very tempting to take. That boss is really big. I'm figuring I might as well. An extra strength in this deck is turning out to be really good. It's not super defensive, but it's not reserved either. Made a small mistake, but that's okay. I'm just noticing that a lot. Just let me know down in the comments how stupid I am sometimes. I'll let stuff slip by. Lost one, but that's okay. Let's try to beat down the Spirit Guardian a little bit. Those thorns are really annoying. Basically, whenever you hit them with something, it deals a little bit extra damage to you because they have spikes on it. Not super friendly, in all honesty. Next turn I should be able to knock both of them out. Maybe I'll be able to get a shield up to knock this one down without any damage. It is dealing 7. Extremely frustrating. Not bad. Energy's always nice, but I don't think this deck really needs it. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I'm going to be ready for that boss or the elite fight. We shall try. So bringing backflips can be the best option here, because this always seems to be a go-to no matter how bad or how much it's not going to help. It still gives off a pretty good block. That was a mistake. still going to take some damage, but let's try to minimize that the best we can. This card's always really good with burns because you can just discard the burns out of your hand. It's always really nice. It's pretty good. 2 more turns and he'll be dead. At the minimum. Aww. Man. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so bad at this game. Luckily, I didn't actually do anything. And I actually got it because of my spikes. This would have been really helpful earlier. Not too worried about my max HP. And I'm sorry I kind of gloss over the flavor sometimes. Part of the reason why I'm doing that is because I've read like 90% of these before. But, and partly because I don't quite know what you guys want me to do. So if you guys let me know, I'd appreciate it. So I have a pin neb. If I knew I was going to have this, I could have gotten the dagger throw where it shoots daggers everywhere. But I didn't know. We'll just knock out this one. Could have really went with the extra strength, but it's okay. So these late game characters just really like buffing themselves up, and they don't really do anything besides that. I should be able to outpace them if I played right. I may very well do it. All it's doing is trying to gain more spikes. If I go and just sneak in a poison stab here and there, I should be able to kill it. And I do without any damage. At least more damage. That's really neat. That'd be really good with the ironclad build. I don't think extra strength is necessary. Probably the heal is the best call here. So this guy, really rough. We definitely need to clear out these guys as soon as possible. Not thinking this is going to be necessary this turn. So maybe the turn where we just deal as much damage as possible. So this one will come back. We have to spoil too much, but when you fight him off, he comes back more than once. Or he comes back once, not more than once. Thank goodness he doesn't do it more than once, but I actually could malaise him, and that'd be really good. It's very tempting to do. Yeah. That will keep him occupied for a couple turns. Oh, that's all I needed. Not too worried about damage here. But we'll just go with one extra. I could have used my speed potion there. But he deals more damage after he comes back, so... So we're counteracting his regen with poison, so we'll see how that pans out. He really is messed up as far as actually being able to put out a hit, which is good. Blur's always nice. Should have probably bursted that, but it's okay. We'll see if we can find something else to do. This isn't that much stronger. We're going to poison stab and then skewer. And he's done for right now. If I'm not mistaken, he probably does purge his poison back. So, or poisons, or yeah. Basically, he loses all stacks of poison, which really sucks considering the fact he is about to kick my ass. So we're gonna try to tank up a little bit while still keeping the poison pressure on. Still 30 damage. Pretty rough. Let's see here. We can't play only defensive with this one. I imagine we'll probably lose, but I'm going to attempt to try to accumulate a little bit more block. Every turn I am hitting them, so it's not too bad. Let's try to keep the poison up. Start using Void. It's not good. We're able to keep him down. And if he keeps those multi-attacks up, he's basically not healing either, so just gotta keep that in mind. At this point, adding less poison's a little bit tedious. I think he should die in 3 turns. If he attacks with a couple more multi-attacks and I add a little bit more poison on. He's putting out a lot of damage this turn. Should be fine. That potion I should be at least. I might be able to finish him off this turn. Yeah. We want to keep that in our hand. I got him. Anyways, that's Slay the Spire. That one lasts a little bit longer than I'd like to, but a run usually takes about an hour anyways. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you later.